Hey everyone, my name is Sahil, and in today's video we will discuss the role of shrink ratios in heat shrinkable products. By the end of this video, you will understand what are these ratios, their applications, and how they influence your decision making when buying any heat shrinkable product. But why should you listen to me? At Axis, we've been manufacturing a wide range of electrical hardware, including heat shrinkable products for over 30 years. You will see our products installed in solar farms, data centers, commercial and residential projects in more than 100 countries. Let's start from the basics. Heat shrinkable products are made up of cross-linked thermoplastic elastomers that contract or shrink when exposed to heat. This characteristic allows them to tightly wrap around electrical conductors and termination paths, providing insulation, weather stability, and chemical resistance. When we talk about heat shrink tubing, one aspect that matters the most is the shrink ratio. It tells you how much the tubing will shrink when heat is applied. Imagine you're working with a power cable that has a thick lug at one end and a thinner cable section behind it. You need one tube that can slide over the connector and still shrink down tightly around the cable. Standard tubing won't cover both properly. You need something that can handle the size difference without leaving gaps. This is where shrink ratios come in. These ratios tell you how much the tube reduces in diameter when heat is applied, applying a single tube to adapt to different sizes along the same length. Let me give you an example. If a single wall tubing has a shrink ratio of 2:1, it means that the tubing will shrink to half its original diameter when heated. If a tube starts at 10 mm in diameter, it will shrink down to 5 mm. This allows it to grip tightly onto wires, terminals, or connectors of different sizes. This shrinking behavior is built into the material during manufacturing. The polymer is stretched and cooled in its expanded form, and when reheated, it remembers its original size and contracts back to it, gripping the surface like a second skin. Before moving on to the applications of heat shrink tubing, please subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos on electrical engineering. Next, the different applications of shrink ratios. Various applications demand different shrink ratios. Let's understand these applications of the standard ratios, starting with 2:1. This is the most commonly used, and it works well for uniform wires, terminals, and small components. If you're insulating standard joints in control panels or organizing cables in a harness, 2:1 gives a clean and reliable finish. But not all connections are standard. That's where 3:1 or 4:1 comes in. These ratios are designed for irregular shapes, thicker connectors, and uneven joints. They allow the tubing to stretch over larger parts and then shrink down tightly to seal thinner sections. In a high-demand environments, even 4:1 might not be enough. That's where 6:1 is used. It handles extreme variations in diameter, like thick cable lugs paired with smaller conductors. You will find this ratio in high-voltage insulation. For highly specialized needs, there are even higher ratios like 7:1 or 12:1. These are used in rare cases where the size difference between components is extreme or when covering damaged insulation. You will find these used in aerospace, defense, or custom repair work where standard tubing just won't do the job. Higher shrink ratios also make installation easier. They allow one tube to fit over large connectors and still shrink enough to grip smaller sections. This makes it easier to handle cables with uneven shapes or mixed sizes and save time. I hope you now have a clear understanding of shrink ratios and their applications. Always ensure that the selection and installation of heat shrink components are carried out by trained and authorized professionals. At Axis, we have a team of over 50 engineers who can help you with choosing, applying, and testing your heat shrink solutions. Our products are installed worldwide in solar farms, substations, data centers, factories, and in everyday residential and commercial projects. Before you move on to the next video, learn how to properly install heat shrink termination and jointing kits. You can watch the video right here.